Hello, and welcome to day 23 of the 28 Days of Magic. And if you are here from an oracle reading, I recommend you do the full 28 days. I'm absolutely sure you'll find it beneficial. And if you are doing the 28 days and we're on 23 now, congratulations, you've made it this far. And I'm absolutely sure you're starting to experience some pretty miraculous things going on in your life by this time. Okay. Also, day 23, we have surpassed part one and part two. This is part three of the magic, and we are about to really accelerate your magical experience. Okay. The magical air that you breathe. Let's do it. The magical air that you breathe. It is quite possible to leave your home for a walk in the early morning air and return a different person, beguiled and enchanted. Mary Ellen Chase. All right. If someone had told me a few years back to be grateful for the air that I breathe, I would have thought the person was crazy. It wouldn't have made a bit of sense to me. Why on earth would anyone be grateful for the air they breathe? But as my life changed from using gratitude, the things that I took for granted or didn't have a second thought about became an absolute miracle to me. I went from sweating the small stuff in my little world and day-to-day life to opening my eyes and thinking about the bigger picture and wonder of the universe. As the great scientist Newton said, when I look at the solar system, I see the Earth at I see the Earth at the right distance from the sun to receive the proper amounts of heat and light. This did not happen by chance. Those words made me think more and more about the bigger picture. It's not an accident that there's protective atmosphere surrounding us, and that beyond it there's no air or oxygen. It's not an accident that the trees give off oxygen so that our atmosphere is continually replenished. It's not an accident that our solar system is perfectly placed, and that if we were anywhere else in the galaxy, we would most likely be devastated by cosmic radiation. There are thousands of parameters and ratios that support life on Earth. All of them are on a knife edge, and their fine tuning is so critical that a fraction of a difference in any of these parameters and ratios would make life unlivable on planet Earth. It is difficult to believe any of these things could have happened by accident. It would seem that they are perfectly designed, perfectly placed, and perfectly balanced for us. When the realization hits you that all of these things might not be an accident, and that the balance of every microscopic element surrounding Earth and on Earth is a perfect and on Earth is in perfect harmony to support us, you will feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for life, because all of it has been done to sustain you. The magical air that you breathe is not an accident or a fluke of nature. When you think about the enormousness of what had to take place in the universe for us to have air, and then you take a breath, breathing air into your body becomes breathtaking in every sense of the word. We take one breath after another and never give a thought to the fact that there is always air for us to breathe. Yet oxygen is one of the most plentiful elements in our body. And as we breathe, it feeds every cell in our body so that we can continue to live. The most precious gift of our life is air, because without it, none of us would last more than a few minutes. When I first began to use gratitude's magical power, I used it for a lot of personal things that I wanted, and it worked. But it was when I began to be grateful for the real gifts in life that I experienced the ultimate power of gratitude. The more grateful I became for a sunset, a tree, the ocean, the dew on the grass, my life, and the people in it, every material thing I've ever dreamt of having poured down upon me. I now understand the reason why it happened that way. When we can feel truly grateful for the precious gifts of life and nature, like the magical air that we breathe, we have reached one of the deepest possible levels of gratitude. And whoever has that depth of gratitude will receive absolute abundance. Today, stop and think about the glorious air that you breathe. Take 5 deliberate breaths and feel the feeling of the air moving inside your body, and feel the joy of breathing it out. Take 5 full breaths in and out, 5 different times today. And after you have taken each set of 5 breaths, say the magic words, "Thank you for the magical air that I breathe." And be as genuinely grateful as you can for the precious life-giving air that you breathe. It is best if you can do this magical practice outside, so you can really feel and appreciate the magnificence of fresh air. But if that's not possible, then do it inside. You can close your eyes while taking the breaths, or you can do it with your eyes open. You can do it while you're walking, waiting in line, shopping, or anywhere at any time. The important thing is to deliberately feel the feeling of the air going in and out of your body. Breathe the way you naturally breathe, because this magical practice is not about your breathing, but about your gratitude for the air that you're breathing. If you're taking a bigger breath helps you feel more gratitude, then do that. If it helps to make a sound or mentally say the magic words, "Thank you," as you breathe the air out, then do that. If you want, you can also do a variation of this practice in the future by imagining you're breathing in gratitude and filling yourself up with it with every breath you take. In ancient teachings, it is said that when a person reaches the point of being deeply grateful for the air that they breathe, their gratitude will have reached a new level of power, and they will have become the true alchemist who can effortlessly turn every part of their life into gold. And we breathe like every couple seconds. So just think, if every couple of seconds you are feeling gratitude, "Oh, thank you for that breath of fresh air." Like, there's 2 right there. How quick and easy is that, right? You don't need any special tools. You don't need to invest a bunch of money. You don't even have to suck up your like or dislike and go and spend time with certain people just to get a job done or anything of those things. It is really as simple as taking a deep breath, feeling it, feeling the love for it, and the gratitude that was not by accident. Hundreds and millions of trees exhaled so that you could inhale. The grass on the ground, the plants in your home, they all exhaled so that you could inhale. How wonderful was that, right? So divine. So that was not by accident. No way. So, Magic Practice 23. Count your blessings, which was the first one. Your 10 blessings, why you're grateful for them. Read your list, and at the end of each one of them, say thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, do that 3 times, because 3 is a number of creation. So when you do things 3 times, you've created a momentum of that feeling. Okay? And anyway, 5 times today, stop and think about the glorious air that you breathe. Take 5 deliberate breaths. Feel the feeling of the air moving inside your body, and feel the joy of breathing it out. After you've taken the 5 breaths, say the magic words, "Thank you for the magical air that I breathe." Be as grateful as you can for the precious, life-giving air that you breathe. And just before you go to sleep tonight, hold that magic rock in your hand and say the words, "Thank you for the best thing that happened to you during the day." Okay? Some of these things, they seem so simple, and they are simple, but they do so much. They change your frequency, they change your energetic magnetic field. And the more gratitude and the more genuinely you feel that gratitude, the stronger that magnetic field becomes. And it just attracts to you more reasons to be grateful. Can't get any easier than that, I'll tell you. It's wonderful. Okay? So that was day 23, the magical air that you breathe. Very simple. And it should become a habit, not just because you're doing the 28 days. That's something you should do every day. See, a lot of these things, that's why you need to do the full 28 days. Because once you do these, a lot of them can all be done at the same time. Like the counting your blessings. You could be doing your breathing as you're counting your blessings. Okay? And the magic rock doesn't have to be just at nighttime. Put it in your pocket. And every time you reach in your pocket to grab something and you feel that rock, you go, "Oh, there's my magic rock. Thank you for whatever just happened that day so far," right? So a lot of these things can be all put together, and it all just accelerates, and they're all just reminders so that gratitude becomes habitual. Okay? And when it becomes habitual, it becomes more genuine. And when it's more genuine, its magnetic powers are much accelerated, hundreds of times more strength to that magnetic field. All right, we will see you tomorrow for day 24. We're on the home stretch, people. I'm sure by now you're feeling the magic wand. Oh, you're going to like that one. Um, you're going to be, I'm sure by now you're already starting to notice things different, changing in your life. People around you acting more differently, more pleasant, uh, better interactions. Have when you're interacting with people, like say at the bank or say at the gas station or whatever, they're better interactions. They're cheerful interactions because when you hold all that gratitude in your body and you are genuinely filled with gratitude, that magnetic field of gratitude, it rubs off on other people. It pulls out, when that magnetic field is strong, it pulls out the gratitude feeling and the good high vibe feelings from the people around you. It brings it to the surface in their lives. And next thing you know, they're feeling better. And then when they talk to somebody else, it does the same thing. See, you that's the whole thing about being the change you want to see. That's how that being the change you want to see works. When you become that change, it draws it out. The magnetic field draws that out of the people around you, brings it to the surface, and then they feel it and they feel good and they enjoy it. And then when they interact, it does the same thing. And that's what makes the change around you be the change you want to see. Okay? Have a blessed day. We'll see you tomorrow on day 24. Thanks for watching.